We've been talking about the home run derby. A lot of people probably tuned in because Ohtani was there, even though he bowed out in the first round. I was looking for a comp here, John, of maybe somebody you played against or with who could have done both, pitching and hitting. I don't know. Carlos Zambrano was a great hitting pitcher, good pitcher. Madison Bumgarner, Mike Mussina. Do you know anybody that back then that could have been able to pull this off of what, not have the power of Ohtani, but to be able to be a day-to-day hitter?
Not really. The pitchers like Mike Hampton, the pitchers you just mentioned, they had ability to, run 2, 3, 4 homers in a year, maybe. But nobody to this magnitude that we've been able to see do it at a level that is unmatched, and go back to Babe Ruth. And I know Babe Ruth, it's easy to just make that comparison, but it's harder to try and draw out what Babe Ruth did to what Ohtani's doing in this era, because there's so many more home runs. And I think Ohtani in itself, I've said this many times, and I know a lot of people think I've lost my mind when I say it. If he just pitched, if all he did was pitch, he would be making the trails of one of the best pitchers in our game, period. But he doesn't just pitch. He doesn't have the reps. He's only got like 25, 26 starts. And he's at such a high level offensively. People don't understand. You've got to concentrate and share your energy in places that pitchers just can't do on a daily basis. You can't pitch once every 5 days and rake like he does every 4 days and then share that greatness. You're going to give up something. And he's giving up something on the pitching end, no doubt, because he's been so good offensively. And I say that if he didn't take another at bat and he just pitched the second half, hands down MVP. I mean, hands down. We thought if he had these numbers at the end of the year, that would be a great year-ending statistics. So I'm in awe of what he's doing, because I know as a pitcher how much time I dedicated to my craft. He's not dedicating that time. He's not giving himself, and rightfully so, because he's a two-way player. So to give you a perspective, and I'll say it tonight on the broadcast, when you get ready to pitch on the road, okay, forget the All-Star game, which is what he's doing. You time your performance to get ready so that maybe 5 minutes before your team ends up making the last out, you go out to the mound to pitch. He can't do that. He's got to time it 20 minutes or so before. Then he's got to go hit. Then his team hits. Then he goes on the mound. He might be 30 minutes before he actually throws his first pitch in a game as a pitcher. So there's so many hurdles that he's overcoming and making it look pretty easy. It's amazing to watch.
I just wonder about the whole mental preparation, because as a hitter, you have to prepare for the pitcher
Right.
you're facing. And as a pitcher, you have to prepare for an entire lineup. And to do that on the same day, it'd be like playing safety and quarterback in the same game.
Yes. I mean, the biggest thing is the physical act can be done, the mental awareness, and you get more tired. Like, I could see him being more exhausted in those games, rightfully so, because he's sharing the information both ways. He wants to get hits, and then he wants to go and pour his energy in when you're pitching. When you pitch in the National League or American League, especially in the National League, because now like he's playing National League rules when he pitches. You're hitting ninth. You really don't care about hitting. You're going to put a bunt down. There's no stress. I mean, you're only thinking about the 8 or 9 hitters you got to get out. So he's got a combo of leading off or batting second and getting right away in a different mindset before he even gets in the pitching mindset. So it's a unique skill set, and I don't know how. It's interesting what Joe Maddon's going to be able to do, because they need his bat. I don't know if you can keep leading him off and still pitch at the rate that he's doing. Maybe drop him in the order. I don't know. But this is going to be pretty fun to watch.
How would you pitch him?
Definitely splits away. I mean, anything going away, because anything coming in, I've seen him take high fastballs, sliders at the back foot. The one game that he struggled a little bit offensively, Gosman pitched against him really well, and he's got a great split. And, that game, he looked a little bit tired from the standpoint of trying to do both. And he pitched an outstanding game against the Giants. So I would have to make sure that I would have to get something going away from him, because his plate coverage and strength is too good right now.
And he's such a great athlete. I think that people don't realize his size, his speed, and then he's got an incredible right arm, and he's the best power hitter in the game, I guess.
Yeah, it's unique. The only comp I can give you is like a Bo Jackson, who played two different sports in the same kind of size, speed, but he played two different sports. This guy's playing two different sports in the same sport because we've never seen anybody do it, right? And
Yeah.
Deion Sanders would be another guy that would come up to mind, because athletically to do what they're doing is something no one could ever envision. A guy, especially at this level in our game, at the All-Star break, 30-some home runs is incredible.
We have Joe Madden, Ohtani's manager, on tomorrow. If he asked your advice on how long do you stay with this, how long do you want him to go, two ways here, what would you say?
Well, if the contract didn't state that he's got to keep doing it, it would be one of those things that I would think.
Wait, it does state that?
Well, I would think part of the reason he's with the Angels is the contract that they worked out, that he was going to get a chance to do this for however many years. I don't know what that means or what it says, but I think that anybody who tried to get out in front of this thought that one of the areas would phase out.
But do you think that there are teams that they weren't going to give him this opportunity to do both?
I think there were teams that were probably hesitant in the beginning to try to, navigate this, because his feet to the fire were quick. And I think all of us who got out in front of it said, this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
Like, he needs to have some time here or time there. And he's proven everybody wrong. And really the Angels, I got to give them credit because they've stuck with it. What my advice would be, if the Angels got to a place, this is the rub of what is Ohtani's greatest asset to the Angels? Well, right now everyone would go is obviously his hitting. But if they get to the playoffs, this greatest asset is his pitching. They don't have that kind of pitching. So that would be a challenge when you get closer to, let's say they were in a playoff run. How do you get him ready to pitch game one and sacrifice something maybe from his hitting standpoint to know he's so important to win a game on the mound? How many games can he win in a series, obviously, at the plate? So it's a delicate challenge, but I'll tell you, Joe Madden has a good plan and he's worked it out.